And we're live.
Hooray. We did it.
How's it going, guys?
Yo.
Good, how about you?
Not bad.
Good.
Not bad. Anything happened in the last week on your guys' end?
No.
No, pretty quiet. Got back to streaming again because Reese is feeling better.
Right on. Cool. What'd you start with? What was the comeback game?
Curse of the Moon 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
It was only fair because I was going to stream it anyways, and then I was off for 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just beat the entire thing.
Right on. Right on. Paul, did you end up playing through it 6 times or whatever it needs?
Yeah, it was 6, yeah.
6.
No. Not quite yet. No.
Oh, do you plan to though?
I'll pick away at it. Again, I'm still not loving it. It's fine, but like other things have been keeping my interest recently. I burnt out a little bit on it the first night I played it.
Right
Yeah,
on.
that's fair. That game goes hard.
Yeah. Somebody was saying it's their first Castlevania-like game, and I was just like, oof. that's
you could have picked an easier one.
Or the first one.
Or the first one. I would have done it. What about you, Sean?
I watched The Old Guard. I think, Paul, you had mentioned this movie last week. I
have not seen it. Is it good?
Right. Yeah, it's really good.
Is it? Okay.
I found it super enjoyable. I was kind of surprised. That is quite an enjoyable film. And they set it up for a sequel, which that sounds exciting.
Sure.
Based on a comic book that I had no connection to. But maybe I'll check out that comic book because it's exciting for sure.
Cool.
I would recommend that Netflix movie. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, definitely check out The Old Guard.
Cool. Sounds good.
And I just realized it would have been a Comic-Con if this was a normal year right now. San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh God, actually? Yeah. Oh.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about. That used to be such a big thing, and then it's just like Snoozeville.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Everyone's got shit to worry about otherwise.
Yeah. Yep.
Such a weird
actually,
year.
I'm trying to... Okay, this last weekend, I was trying to think what I did. The girlfriend and I drove to like a waterfall / river, like swimming hole.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 3 hours east from here. So a little day trip out there.
Sure.
Swimming hole was great, super fun. It was super hot out, so you could just swim in the river. That was awesome. Out of the few hundred people we saw, I think maybe 5, including us, actually had face masks on.
Yeah.
To the point that when we were walking towards where the people were swimming, some people walked past us and we heard them whisper to themselves, "Oh, that's how you know they're not from around here, because they have masks on."
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the only time that someone commented behind our backs about how weird it was that we were wearing masks, during a pandemic. It was disheartening and insane. All these groups of people at the swimming hole, not social distancing, and just the disdain for masks.
Yeah. That's because this
really
pandemic was created by the left, you see. That's why. So you fell for it, Sean.
What was I about to say? So yeah, we just kept going up the river until we were away from everyone and had our own little area.
Sure.
It definitely made me miss my bubble back here in Berkeley, where everyone has masks all the time.
Yeah. That's glad to hear.
I was gonna say, you're a little brave for going out to a watering hole like that.
Well, I mean, we figured there would definitely be people. I didn't know the extent of what people would be there and the ignorance towards wearing masks and whatnot. But like I said, we wore our masks as we walked past and away from everyone to have our own little area. So it was pretty safe.
Cool.
But it was it was so weird being in a gas station and seeing, the attendant had a mask on, because I'm sure they have to. It's as a worker.
Sure.
But then just seeing someone walk in without one, it was just like, where am I? What is this?
I mean,
weird
that's
world?
happening everywhere around here. Like
Yeah.
any store I go to, like no one's wearing a mask. It is infuriating.
Right. But at least you're not having like hundreds of thousands of cases a day almost.
Yeah.
I
in your
guess, but
country.
we're on the uptick right now, so
Oh, bummer.
yeah. But our uptick is like 100 cases a day.
And it's
Yeah,
usually
that would be
because
great.
one person infected a whole building worth of people.
Yeah.
That's been really bad. Yeah.
It's actually funny. My my girlfriend's roommate went and got tested just to get checked out, and it came back with inconclusive. What do you do with that?
Oh, what?
What do you do with that info?
Can it? Why?
I don't know. Like, I guess go get tested again, and then wait another week or whatever for the results. But that's just not helpful at all.
Yeah, that's crazy. No good.
Anyway, yeah, that's that's my life. But
Masks are going to be mandatory up here, so that's good.
Yeah,
I guess.
August 1st.
Oh, like citywide?
Citywide, yeah. They passed a
Okay.
thing, but
Nice.
people are saying that they're probably still not going to uphold it. We'll have to see. I hope they do.
Yeah.
They said it's going to be fines of $100 to $200 if you get caught.
I mean, I'd be surprised if anyone actually went through and like wrote a ticket to someone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Up here, yeah, I would be surprised too, honestly. But I mean, it's a semblance of hope.
Yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the masks aren't even like a big deal. Like, it's like such a non-issue. It's not even that uncomfortable. Anyway, that's my life. Let's why don't we talk about my video game life, which is the name of my Disney rom-com.
I was gonna say, is that your Nickelodeon Saturday morning cartoon?
My
video game life.
My video game life, yeah.
I'm played by. I mean, I couldn't even really tell you a child actor. I was gonna say Zac Efron, but that would probably be a.
He definitely did not count as a
He is
child
not a
actor
child
anymore.
actor.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not even close.
I'm played by one of the.
It's probably a good thing you
kids.
don't know of child actor name, honestly. Probably for the best.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the top down perspective for July 23rd. I'm Sean Booker.
Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
And John, why don't you and I talk about Paper Mario?
All right, Paper Mario Origami King came out last week. This is the sixth Paper Mario game. It is still not a JRPG.
Do you consider Mario and Luigi Paper Jam a quasi Paper Mario game?
That game is way more Mario and Luigi than it is Paper Mario.
So no, it doesn't count?
No.
Okay. I just saw like an NPD chart this morning or maybe yesterday comparing all the sales of them all, and that was included in there.
I mean, that's fair. It has the character in it, so I guess I can see why. But no, like gameplay wise, that is straight up a Mario and Luigi game.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's answer the big question now. How do you feel about it?
I actually really like it.
I'm in a positive mood on
it. All right.
Yeah.
Where are you in the game?
I've defeated the second streamer, so I'm probably 35 to 40% through the game. I would imagine 35.
Okay, so you're ahead of me. I'm at Autumn Mountain on the way to like that temple.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind. I know where you're not too far behind me. You're probably a couple hours behind me.
Yeah. I've done one streamer. I'm on the other one. I like the combat system a lot.
I think it's the weakest part of the game, but only for regular fights. I think the boss fight mechanics are excellent.
So I was thinking the whole time before I had gotten to a boss fight, I was like, I like this combat system. For those who don't know what the combat system is, Mario's in the middle of kind of like a dartboard, and then you can rotate the rings around or the columns to line up the enemies so that you can hit more of them at once. And I kept thinking, like, how is a boss fight going to work? Because that's only going to be one enemy. Like you always fight a group of enemies that you can, manipulate around into some kind of pattern. And I kept thinking, like, is he just going to have like a bunch of underlings that I can like combo together? Like, how's that going to work? But the way they do the boss fights is so creative, and it flips the whole combat system in such a fun and interesting way. Like, man, I think this game is so creative with what they did with the combat.
I'm curious how you're going to feel about the boss you're going to be coming up on next, because that's my least favorite boss fight so far, the one you're about to do.
Like the third boss?
Yeah, the third boss was my least favorite. That's because of the gimmick of that fight.
Okay.
But also, I also kind of got screwed over by RNG, which didn't help either. Yeah, so during the boss fights, there's like a certain item, like there's a certain space you can land on that activates abilities.
Yeah.
And mine was put in such a horrible place that I could never reach it. Or if I reached it, I had to basically sacrifice an attack. Like I couldn't do anything otherwise. And the gimmick of that fight just made it a nuisance. So I hated that.
Because I feel like the puzzles so far haven't been that hard. So the way again for the listeners, the way the boss fights work is instead of Mario being in the middle of this dartboard, the boss goes in the middle, and you have to rotate around a bunch of arrows that will push Mario into a certain position, and you want to try and get him onto like an attack block or onto like a healing block or something like that. And then like John said, there's ones where you get to use some of your special abilities. In the one I just did, like the pencil crayons, a lot of the times it was like, am I going to go up there and hit him with my hammer, or am I going to do a special attack? It was always one or the other. You could never do like both.
No, so you know how to use the special attack, you have to hit an on switch panel.
Yeah.
And then you have to land on the space. You can either do that in that same turn or a next turn. My on panel space ended up in a spot that would never connect me to an attack. So I literally had to sacrifice a turn if I wanted to use it.
Weird, because I've found like it's always kind of set up to, there is a correct way you should be lining these up.
Nope. You'll understand when you get to the gimmick of that fight. But okay. I literally had to be like, okay, I have to either sacrifice a turn to activate this and then activate it at the right time, or just I couldn't get to it. And couldn't get to it happened way more often than I care to admit. I took a lot of damage on that fight specifically, and I don't want to spoil why for you since you're about to get there.
Right.
And knowing you and knowing my luck, you're probably going to have no problem with it. I admit I didn't die to the fight, but it was just annoying compared to all the other fights I've had.
I mean, the only reason I could think they might do that is because the boss fights aren't hard. They are long compared to like every other fight in this game.
I would expect the boss fights to be a bit longer though. Is the thing. Yeah.
But like the healing, you get so much health back for healing.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God.
So that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe it's like, well, this one it is kind of quote unquote cheap in some ways, but you can also heal super easily, so that kind of balances it out. That's my guess.
I will say though, I don't like the normal fights. I try to avoid normal fights as much as I can because they just feel the pacing is awful on them.
I do also try to avoid them if I can, because you don't get anything for doing them besides coins, and coins are super easy to get.
But you do need a lot of coins though.
I haven't needed a ton yet. Like I've never gotten to something where I did not have an abundance, or I had to like come back for it later. So far, like I always have like 10,000 coins on me, and the most expensive thing is usually like 3.
I have definitely dipped down close to 3 digits, and I am not slacking off on fights or money.
Have you been like spending the coins to like increase your timer or anything like that, or get people or cheering with the toads?
Rarely.
Yeah, see, I'm not doing that either.
Sometimes I'll do that if it's a 3-turner and I just can't figure out the starting move for lining people up. But even then, I'll only spend like 200 coins.
I've just like, I'll just take some damage. It's not a big deal. Like I have more than enough mushrooms to heal myself as well.
Yeah, no, that's
but anyways,
fair.
what I was about to say
like
is
30.
You don't get much for doing the fights. But I feel like the game was also compensating for that, because as you like, when I increased my health the one time, I guess I've done it twice now, but the first time, your travel companion Olivia is like, "Oh, I think now you can just hit some of these Goombas with your hammer, and you won't even battle them. Like the game's working to get you past like the weaker
no,
enemies."
when I saw that, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a pretty good way of handling that.
Yeah.
Because the game's even saying to you like, "Hey, we understand some of these fights, like they get more and more trivial as you go along." I think it looks really good. Especially the second area that I'm in now, Autumn Mountain. I think that place looks awesome, and I like the music in that area quite a bit.
The aesthetic is actually really nice. Like the game looks great. I enjoy running around and just talking to NPCs and stuff like that.
The writing's quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah, they might have overdone it with how many toads you need to save. There's a disgusting
you need to
amount.
save them. They're just collectibles, basically, right?
Well, but yeah, but sometimes they actually give you like bonuses. They unlock shops and give you more items. They give you more health extensions, etc.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Which is good. Like if they were just collectibles, then they would be like needless. So it's actually kind of cool that sometimes you get stuff for them. But it's not like any of them are like, "Oh, you need to find this guy or you cannot progress."
Yeah, but when you walk into an area, you get the first toad and it says like, "Oh yeah, you've saved 2% of the toads in this area." I just kind of sigh deeply.
Yeah, and you can see in the when you pause it, you can see a pretty good breakdown of what is left in this area to find.
Yeah, and they tell you exactly how many toads you've saved so far, and I think we're around 200.
I don't even know where do you find that number, so I don't know where I'm at.
It's literally the tab next to the map tab.
Okay. And actually, now I think about it,
it's your toad points.
To counter your criticism of having too many toads, they give you like a few different items to help find them easier.
Which I give them credit for that. Thank God they did that.
Yeah, like I'm actually pretty surprised every time I have any kind of like hindrance with this game, they've kind of thought about that and designed like a pretty okay solution so far.
There's some things that are weird to me. First off, it's weird that it's essentially a puzzle game. Like all the fights are puzzles, which is both cool and also like kind of one of those like, okay, that's a little odd kind of moments. I know they want to keep trying something different. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes it depends on the difficulty of the puzzle too. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, this is just needlessly extra long, and then sometimes like, okay, this is actually a real brain scratcher.
Yeah, and they even help you in a lot of ways because like when they put the angry ones, it's like, okay, well I know that all the angry ones have to line up together. Oh, I would not have gotten that if these four.
They don't have to actually. There'll be puzzles later on where straight up like there's only one angry one.
Oh, okay. So that I haven't hit those yet. So
yeah,
but that's a good like that's a good ramp up in difficulty then. Good. I think that's like a positive.
Yeah, no, I just think the fights take too long. That's my issue. I think the standard fights take too long.
Okay, and I hear there's at some point that they go up significantly longer. I don't know what point that is. I was just hearing one person talk about it, and they're like, "Yeah, these went from like 30 seconds to like, oh, okay, this is like a 90-second long thing now." Okay, I got to sit here and think. I like the accessories quite a bit. Every accessory I've found has been like extremely useful.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. There's only been one sort of useless accessory I've gotten so far, but it's a fun cosmetic one I like, so I keep it on.
Sure. Okay. I wish the touch radar wasn't an item. Like I wish it was just like a button I could press to have it come out.
I mean, you can just press Y twice and you got it.
I did not know that. What does hitting Y twice do?
Pressing Y brings up your items menu, and it's on that menu. You don't have to go into pause. It literally just brings up a sub menu.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just got it so far. Like the one time I used it, I went into pause. Then you have to button over and hit like use, and then to turn it off, you have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like well, why couldn't that be just like a button? Because I don't think like left bumper is being used for anything.
I think that might be the only button that's not being used currently. Yeah.
Yeah, like put it to that. I feel like
I'm sure that's mapped to something later on.
Maybe later on. Because I think of like, I'm pretty sure that button is also not used in Animal Crossing at any point. And the idea of like leaving a whole button out just seems so weird. Like make it a shortcut to something, even if it's something I don't really need. Like maybe I'll want to use it at some point. Like why? It's better than not having it.
It also is weird that both triggers are the confetti buttons. Like you only need one.
Oh, is that true? Yeah, I guess I never tried left trigger, so that's also weird.
Yeah.
Did you turn off motion controls?
Immediately. As soon as I found out it was option, it was gone.
Yeah, I love that they put that in there. That was fantastic because it was super weird. I was like, oh, come on. But then it's just a pretty easy, like, you can turn this off. Thank God. So good for that. Pro tip, if you're playing it, you can turn off the motion controls. Yeah, I'm having quite a good time with it.
I'm enjoying this more than I thought. Like I said, the writing's been good. I've enjoying like adventuring around and just treating it like an adventure game. But like anything other than the boss fights, I'm just kind of like, and I'm good. I'll skip these fights.
Yeah, I haven't got to that part with the combat yet, but hopefully I don't get it like you. But I don't know. I'm positive on it. Thumbs up. I'd recommend the game for sure. Did you
Yeah,
play anything else?
it's definitely not Sticker Star. It's definitely better than Sticker Star. So although that's not much praise, but yeah, right now I'm on the side of I'm enjoying it. But that's pretty much all I've been playing other than Picross, and Picross is Picross. It never ends, literally.
Cool. I'll continue on with what I've been playing as well. Super Hot had a sequel come out, Super Hot Mind Control Delete, and I've been playing through that. And it is actually really cool. It's basically like if they took Super Hot and then just put in a bunch of wacky mods to make the combat just more arcadey and I don't know, fun. Not to say the original Super Hot isn't fun. Have either of you looked at the trailer or anything of gameplay for this?
I saw in the trailer and I was going to ask about that. Like, is this this said this was supposed to be an expansion but turned into a whole game? Like, is it worthy of being a whole game? Like, does it continue the storyline, quote unquote?
Yeah, I mean the original storyline, like, it wasn't super deep. It was just kind of like, break out of the system and just play these levels. There wasn't like a huge narrative there. This is basically like you just want more Super Hot, and to the specific of like the word more comes up a bunch. And it still does the weird like out of the game kind of stuff where you're like attacking the person playing the game over and over again or whatever it is. Like there's still some weird trippy stuff in there. But the way it presents itself is pretty interesting. So instead of just like you play one level after the other, one blah blah blah, there's now like almost like an overworld map, kind of like Mario style if it was like flat and like ASCII characters, I guess. Where you select like I'm going to play 1A now and then 1B, 1C, and each one of these nodes is like a randomized playlist of levels that you will play through. And every like 3 or 4 stages, there's usually like I want to say maybe 10 in each playlist. They will give you a new power up, and you get to choose between 2. And the power ups are what make it really special. Because it can be stuff like every time you throw something, it's going to explode like a grenade.
Oh.
Or how do you want to start every single map with a katana? What are some of the other ones? You move super fast now. Every time you now have a health bar of a couple hearts. So some of the upgrades could be like, do you want an additional heart? Stuff like that. Do you want to be healed? That could be another one. There's another ability that's like every time someone hits you, a bunch of shuriken are going to explode out of you. And then it gets really cool when you can start comboing these together, because not only do you get those abilities, but there's also some more like passive ones that you can like start an entire run with. So I have 2 passive ones right now. The first one being, I think it's just called more.exe, which is, do you want an additional heart? So you can play through the playlist, instead of 2 hearts, have 3 hearts. And every time you get hit is 1 heart. You don't start the level over again. You just get hit and continue from where you were at, which is nice to see. The other one I have is charge, which it's on a cooldown, but if I'm close enough to an enemy, I can basically warp over to them immediately, which is really cool. Where if I'm like, staring down an enemy with a gun pointed at me and I don't have anything to grab and instead of trying to like wiggle my way through their bullets, I can warp right in front of them, punch them right in the face, and take their gun. So you can like warp around while you're doing that. I just unlocked Pierce, so now anytime I throw an item, it'll go through and just hit as many of them as it can in one throw. Like they're super interesting and some fun. Like you do some really cool kind of stuff. Got Pierce for bullets as well. Some of the abilities are like the guns will reload faster. That's a super useful one. So it's just like an arcadier version of Super Hot. So I think like it's just kind of it's more Super Hot, but yeah, in an arcadey fashion. If you like the first game, you're definitely gonna like this because it just does some cool, weird stuff that is really kind of thinking outside the box of what you expect from a Super Hot game. And like we had talked about previously, if you had purchased the game before, it was sometime last week, like July 14th or something like that. You got it for free as like an update to the game, or as like a separate download.
Which is crazy because how long has it been between the original release of Super Hot now?
It's been a while. I could not tell you when Super Hot originally came out.
Like since they've done VR and everything, so it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been years. So that's brave to be like, hey, here, this is free if you already own the game.
And I understand it's significantly bigger than the first game, so like that is quite the value proposition. But anyway, I highly recommend Mind Control Delete, especially if you're a Super Hot fan, because you're gonna have so much fun with it. And that's all I've been playing. Paul, continue on.
Yeah, I've been playing the new hotness in retro throwback games by Tribute Games called Panzer Paladin. The dudes who
I've been curious about this.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, an ex-Ubisoft employee that worked on that game, and Mercenary Kings with Tribute Games. Obviously, he did that one.
Wait, hold up. This is ex-Scott devs?
At least one or two of them, yeah.
Or one. Oh, okay.
I think his name's like JF Major or something on Twitter. I can't remember, but it's one of them for sure. Yeah, so Panzer Paladin, picture in your mind an NES era 8-bit action platformer game, and that's basically what this is. You play a character.
I'm sold.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right? You play a character in a mech that can pick up different weapons that you get from around the level and from killing enemies. I'll talk about the weapon system in a second, but so there's two kind of different ways you can play this game. You play like Blaster Master style, a little character that like can get into little places. However, there's no fall damage or whatever, so it's a lot more arcadey than Blaster Master. But when you're just the normal pilot character, you're a little bit quicker, you can get into small spaces, and you have like an energy whip sort of thing that you can swing on like hooks and stuff in the level to do some platforming goodness or whatever. But most of the time you're going to be playing inside your mech, which in this universe is called a paladin, and yours specifically is named Grit, Grit, and it kind of has like a mind of its own as well. There's like little scenes or whatever where Flame the pilot is talking to Grit the mech, or like the mech responds to like something she says. And the mech plays kind of how you would think, a little more stompy, like much bigger, so easier to get hit by a bunch of stuff in the environment. Has a bigger health bar, but the more important thing is that you pick up different weapons in this world called spirit weapons, and there's a small semblance of like the weapon triangle in this game. So you have piercing weapons like spears and whatnot. You have cutting weapons like swords and sickles and shit like that, and then you have impact weapons that are like hammers and bats and clubs and things like that. And apparently it does matter which weapons you use against which enemies to like take them down faster, and I'm assuming on the hard difficulty that probably comes more into play. I played on normal throughout the game. Apparently also you can change the difficulty at any time during the game, so if you're playing on normal or hard and you're like, this part sucks, I'm just gonna tone it down, you can do that on the fly or whatever, so you're not locked in, which is cool. I just learned that actually today. So
I was gonna ask, have you had any points where you gotten stuck?
Yes, but it didn't feel an unfair stuck. It's usually because you take a lot of chip damage through the level as your mech, And then when your mech breaks down, you kind of eject out of it and you play as the pilot, but you're like screwed. You could do like a pilot only run if you wanted to, and I'm sure there will be people that have or do, because she does do like enough damage or whatever. But the important thing about this game is the weapon system. So the thing about the weapons is that they all have different properties, which include spells that they have like innate to them, which you can cast by breaking the weapon essentially. And this system deals all with weapon durability. So every weapon in this game has a certain amount of durability, and it goes down obviously as you use it until it breaks, and then when it breaks it usually does like a little fireball if you just break it normally, and that's whatever. You can throw weapons to break them instantly by hitting an enemy with it, and they do massive damage for that. You need weapons to put into checkpoints to activate checkpoints. So weapons are basically your currency in this game, also for upgrading your mech. Everything in this game has to do with weapons. And it's kind of cool because there's a point where you're just like, okay, this weapon's about to break, so I'm going to switch to another weapon, and like I'll use this weapon that's about to break for its spell before a boss. Like one of the spells I used a lot is Defense Up, which basically halves all the damage that you take, which is huge because you take a like absolute shit ton of damage from stuff in this game, your mech. So I usually like used a weapon for a while, saved it until like I got to the end if it had Defense Up or like a large heal or small heal, and then would like pop them as I needed them that way. Or like if it was like one of the daggers, I think they're dirks, had just like durability up, and like I never cared about that anyway. So, and you get like a whole bunch of them, so like I would always save dirks for just checkpointing, so I didn't waste a good weapon to take a checkpoint or whatever. It's very, very cool. It's one of the neatest systems I've seen in a while for sure. Other than that, it's done in this like kind of Mega Man style where the world is being attacked basically by these demons wielding these spirit weapons. And there's a demon in different parts of the world. So you start actually in Canada, because I believe the lead creator is from like Ontario or Quebec or like from the East. So, and like so you start in Canada, there's United States enemy, Mexico, Sweden, the UK, there's like all over the world, right? And it's kind of cool because in every place of the world, it's done in a completely like a style that is reminiscent of that area, so it doesn't look samey at all. Every place has its own distinctive features and own distinctive music, and maybe more cool than any of that, its own distinctive like weaponry. So like in Europe you had like claymores and like medieval weaponry. You had in Japan, it had katanas and I can't remember the name of like those daggers or whatever, like kunai and stuff like that. In Mexico, they had a whole bunch of like the Aztec spears. I'm calling them that because I don't know how to pronounce the actual name of the like Aztec stuff. So like they're all in like old, like the old proper Mexican Aztec names for shit. In Canada, one of the first weapons you can get is a hockey stick, because of course.
Of course.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool that every place that you visit in the world, which is substantial, it's 10 different places in the world, so 10 stages, each with a boss at the end. And also the boss is a boss that has to do with the folklore of that area. So in Greece, you fight a Medusa. In Canada, you fight a Wendigo. You fight a like succubus in the United States, because why not, I guess. So like anything to do with like the folklore of that area, it's kind of cool that every level is tailored to that part of the world. I think that's really, really neat. And then after you do the 10 different stages, there's like a Dr. Wily's Castle sort of like final stage, which is like 6 or 7 stages long that you have to go through, all with a boss as well. So it's a quite substantial game. Like for a $20 throwback game, this is easily like a 4 to 8 hour game, depending how fast you play it. I took about a little over 5 for my first playthrough. Other than that, the other cool thing that they do is that there is a blacksmith mode. And what that basically is because the weapons are like such a big deal in this game, you can actually just create your own weapons and put, like, you can get weapons created by other users in their like little custom pixel art mode thing, and like you can set the different parameters of how much durability the weapon has, how much damage it does, how much burden on the weapons have a thing called soul burden or something like that, and I won't like get into what it has, a specific story related thing, so but like how much burden they have and what spell they create if you break the weapon. So people have actually been already creating a whole bunch of things. Like one of the weapons I got, because you get them from like a certain enemy that you can fight throughout the game, was like literally just a stop sign with a smiley face on it and was so stupid looking. Some other people have created stuff like a dog on a leash as a weapon. Somebody created a Nintendo Switch. Yeah. I think that's really, really cool though, that people can just create their own weapon and you have a chance to get random weapons people have created from different characters and stuff. It's such a cool game. And it's probably it's probably the best throwback game of this year that I've played for myself. I definitely like it more than Curse of the Moon, but yeah, I don't know. If you like action platformers that are done in like an NES style, this is definitely one that like I highly recommend. It's very, very good. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
I'm surprised you didn't play Carry On this week.
That's tonight. I play games at night.
Yeah, didn't it only drop today?
It did drop today.
No, I know it's out on Game Pass
as of today.
Yesterday.
Nope.
No, it was up yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh. I guarantee you, because I would have played it. I guarantee you.
I downloaded it and loaded it up. I don't know.
I have it downloaded for the last week and it wouldn't open. It was not released.
Then what did I do yesterday? What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
I downloaded it and loaded it up. Like, what do you want from me? That at least on Xbox that game's playable. I would have assumed the PC one is the same, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Anyway, I guess we will talk about that next week. It looks like
for sure.
We have so much news to go over.
Yeah,
a lot has happened in the last week.
Yeah.
Let's start with the latest stuff, the Xbox showcase. Paul, I know you watched this. John, did you tune into any of this?
No, I read the list.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe this list is in order. We should just go through it. This is including the pre-show.
Okay. That's why I was like, wait. Yeah. Okay. I didn't watch the pre-show.
The pre-show with Jeff Keighley's pre-show, which is definitely like worth watching for all of these ones. Like he gets like some announcements during that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, kind of the first big announcement this morning was that Dragon Quest 11 is coming to Game Pass in December, and this is the enhanced version that the Switch has.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's pretty exciting for sure.
Yep, that's great.
Excuse me. Just specifically December 4th.
Okay.
And then I think that was like the only announcement through the pre-show or that happened beforehand. And then so yeah, the main show started. Exo Mecha, free-to-play competitive first-person shooter.
Yeah.
I think I actually missed this trailer. Which one was this one?
It is definitely looks like a mix between Crysis and some weird like Gundam mech thing with two mechs fighting. I definitely
see the Crysis. Yeah. Sure. Like I'll probably, free to play. I'll try it out. Why not?
Yep. For sure.
I should also say that they announced this during the show that every game shown today during the Xbox showcase will be either available on Game Pass or it's free to play.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty exciting thing that they kept saying as someone who subscribes to Game Pass, because there's a lot of great looking stuff in here.
And they all had Windows PC on it as well as the Xbox which is crazy.
This next game I thought looked awesome. Echo Generation, like a weird, I don't know,
Limbo-like?
Canadian, because he has a maple leaf on his jacket and he attacks with a hockey stick.
Yeah.
Weird like RPG.
Yeah.
Against, like, again, weird robots. There's some Stranger Things vibes. I loved the way this thing looked.
It's very cool looking. Yep.
I made me think, like, is Double Fine working on this? This seems like a game Double Fine would have made, but like kind of like an upscaled version of that. Anyway,
Oh.
that's Echo Generation.
The Riverbond people are making it. That's why it has that look. I thought I recognized that look.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Yep.
Yeah, the kind of voxel look.
Yep.
Yeah. It's almost even hard to tell it's voxels until they zoom in on the characters. Because from
Totally.
afar, it just looks like kind of hand drawn or just like, regular polygons.
Totally.
You have to look real closely to kind of see the quote unquote 8-bitty voxels, I guess, of that.
Yeah.
All right. After that, no, Hello Neighbor 2. I don't know. Hello
Sure.
Neighbors. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a popular game, man.
It is, yeah.
I think in more exciting news, personally, I don't even know how you really pronounce this. Balan?
Yeah, Balan Wonderland, or what? Sorry, Balan Wonderworld.
Wonderworld, yes. From the co-creators of Nights into Dreams. This thing looks
Sonic,
very...
So, yeah, this is a lot of like former like Sonic team people working on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're now over at Square Enix. It doesn't look like it plays like either of those, but
No.
like visually, this looks like Nights. This looks like Nights stuff.
Yeah.
I'll admit the visuals are amazing. They look really nice and cartoony.
Yeah,
the gameplay would be more comparable to Banjo-Kazooie, I would say. Like it is a 3D platformer.
3D platformer, yep, for sure. Yeah, it looks nice. I thought the music was really nice in the trailer, which I'm assuming will probably be in the game, knowing the Knights lineage. But that was a cool, interesting thing for sure. I just realized this must not be in order because Halo started it, right? Or was this all pre-show stuff?
That was all pre-show.
I think this is all pre-show, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I had to catch them after. I didn't see any of these
Okay.
until later.
Okay. All right. So then the main thing did actually start. Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
They finally showed some gameplay. This is the big one. What did you guys think?
It sure is Halo.
I was a little underwhelmed.
It's like
actually.
open world Halo. They showed that map.
Yeah.
It sure is Halo.
I kind of want to see.
I don't know how to feel.
multiplayer.
Like what? Like I wasn't sure what they would even change, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like it definitely looks like a new one of those, so that's good. Sure.
I like what they added. I like the grappling hook looks hella fun.
Yeah.
The shooting looks solid. Overworld Halo sounds interesting. I missed if they actually mentioned if there was any like if they were doing cooperative again or like or not.
They didn't mention it. You would have to though. Like all those games have co-op, right?
Yeah.
It would be weird.
Yeah, but they got rid of
to.
local in Halo 5, so I don't know for sure what their plan was at that point.
Somebody had pointed
this game's
out.
coming out this fall. No one's playing local.
True.
Touche. Got me there.
Somebody was pointing out in the thing in the demo. He shot the legs of one of those brutes to like stagger him, and that was like I didn't notice that. That was neat. Maybe that's a mechanic now that you can actually like do a thing.
Did you not do that in any of the previous ones?
I don't remember. The last one I cared about
Brutes
was
normally
Reach.
didn't get staggered.
Yeah.
You normally just killed the brute or it killed you.
They mentioned the size of the map. They said it's bigger or
Than their last
substantially
two
bigger
games.
than Halo 4 and 5 combined.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know, that's crazy.
I mean, that makes sense. If you're going to do an open world game, it's got to be bigger than a non-open world game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, just hearing that said out loud is like, wow.
I was, collecting some kind of additional news that was coming along Twitter for some of these games. Here's some for Halo Infinite. 343 views Infinite as a platform that's going to grow over time.
Yeah.
It's the last standalone release for the foreseeable future, which means absolutely nothing. Until they want to make a sequel, right? That's a nothing.
Yep.
New story content will be for Infinite, and there will be a free ray tracing update coming after launch.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious how Destiny-like it's gonna be.
Yeah. That's kind of what
That's kind of
a bunch of people were
kind of the
speculating.
big thing.
Yep.
But like, I'll play an open world Halo for sure. Like, why not jump around? You know, do some. The hook shot does look fun for sure. Like, I think that'll be a fun area to goof around in with laser guns and whatnot.
I mean, hell, it'll be in Game Pass. So
And it's
why
in Game
not?
Pass. There's no reason not to, right?
Yeah.
All right, they showed a real short trailer for State of Decay 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say there's no way that game looks as good as this trailer graphically.
Yeah. No,
Because I played
agree.
State of Decay 2, and that's a clunky game. But I feel like that's part of the
animals,
charm
though,
for State of
It's
Decay.
kind of weird. I wonder if that's actually a thing or if that's just a trailer thing. I guess we'll see.
I bet that's a thing. Like you're talking about the deer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a weird deer zombie monster thing that screamed at him. Or
It's a lot of
That
screaming.
definitely seems like it would be in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Another game that it's like, well, it's on Game Pass, so why not? Sure. Why not? I'll play some of that.
Sure.
They also showed an extremely short trailer for Forza Motorsport. They dropped the number, it seems like.
I mean, at this point, why not?
Yeah.
It's a new system. It's your best chance to do it.
Yeah. They basically said like we kind of just started making it, so this seems like it's going to be a while before it comes out.
Wait, it's not going to be a launch title?
No way. No. Like I said, they had like nothing to show for this thing. So
that's weird. Like normally, like there's a Forza ready to go at near launch.
Yeah,
like
I believe Xbox One had
like
one.
a racing game usually has a racing games usually ready to go for launch to show off the graphics.
Motorsport. I mean, they'll have Horizon 4. That'll still be a pretty.
I
game.
guess. Yeah, you're right. I guess there's all the forward compatible stuff.
Yeah.
Or backwards compatible, really.
Exactly. Anyways, yeah, if it's not a Horizon game, I'm kind of not really interested in the Forza games, but that's just me not really liking simulation racing.
Sure.
Rare's Everwild was shown again. Still just looks gorgeous. I don't really know what you do in that game.
Yeah.
They didn't really show any kind of gameplay.
Heal animals, apparently, based on that trailer.
There's nature spirits and stuff, and I don't know. That game looks gorgeous. That's all there really is to it. Then they showed Don't Nod's Tell Me Why, which I'm very excited for as a big Don't Nod fan. This is their next like narrative focused adventure game that they're doing.
Yep. It's coming
they
out all
also
pretty
put
close
out-
to each other too, which is nice.
Yeah, so some of the extra info I got about that one, it's episodic again, and that actually comes out a month from now, chapter 1, August 27th.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something to look forward to. Chapter 2 is a week later, September 3rd, and chapter 3 is the following week, September 10th.
Yeah.
So that whole game is coming out in like a 3-week span.
Yeah. So like your favorite TV show or something, like every week.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yep.
I'm assuming they were just kind of like got feedback from like the long delays in between the Life is Strange episodes, and they were like, all right, let's just make a game and split it up and put it out pretty back to back.
Yep.
And then another little bit of news is that they have already put up a FAQ on their site. I'll just read you this tweet from the Tell Me Why Twitter account. We've added a FAQ page to our website to give players context for some of the Tell Me Why themes, especially in regards to trans and indigenous representation. Some answers contain spoilers, so please proceed with caution and be courteous when sharing. I just thought this was kind of an interesting move on their part. Good to see that they're taking those themes seriously. The interesting part is they're just straight up putting spoilers out there.
Yeah, that seems crazy for a game that's not even out yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I read that as them like kind of taking these themes seriously, because these are kind of are what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's thin ice there. These are uncharted waters in some case in terms of the game industry. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they're dealing with some heady stuff probably, and they wanted to get in front of any possible anger or backlash of people speculating before the thing's even out.
Yeah, that's a very fine line to walk, so they've got to be very careful.
didn't look at the fact. Obviously, I don't want to be spoiled for anything, but I hadn't seen anything in response to that of like, people reading it and maybe getting upset or anything. I haven't really heard any kind of response about people reading it, so I can't say one thing or the other. But I guess at the moment, no news is good news on that front.
Yep.
The devs for Ori and the Will of the Wisps popped up to say that they are optimizing that for Series X, so it'll have 4K and run at 120 frames per second.
Yeah,
which sounds crazy.
Good for
I'm not
them,
gonna play
man.
through that game again, but that's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of frames per second.
Yep, that's intensive. 4K at 120 is crazy.
Obsidian popped up to talk about a few games.
Yeah.
Starting with Grounded, which is in Xbox Game Preview next week.
Yeah, they finally made me want to play that game. This trailer was much better.
This is the like weird Honey I Shrunk the Kids fighting bugs survival-y thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try that out next week. That's exciting.
Yeah.
For sure. So hopefully that's good.
Yeah, I hope so.
Then I went on to one of my things I'm most excited about from this show, Outer Worlds. I did the thing.
Yep.
Outer Worlds getting DLC, story DLC, in fact.
Yep.
Peril on Gorgon. Which, like, hell yeah, I will play some Outer Worlds DLC. Like, let's go.
I'm so in.
I'm definitely in for that, for sure. And that's coming September 9th.
Yep.
They then showed a very short trailer for their next big RPG called Avowed.
This excited me, but I want to see anything on it. It's a nice
This
little
is obviously
teaser.
a ways off.
Yeah.
But I think just the idea of, Obsidian is working on
An
a big
RPG.
RPG again. Yep. It's medieval, first person. I'm assuming it's going to be very Skyrim-like, if I had to just make a guess.
Yep. Agreed.
Something to be excited about for sure for fans of the genre, if I had to guess. All right, this next one looked a little odd. A new interactive narrative game called As Dusk Falls.
Yeah.
And they didn't show any kind of gameplay. To me, I'm assuming it's going to be like, your Life is Strange, your Telltale style adventure game, but just with less animation and more just kind of motion comic.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to think about this one.
I wasn't crazy about this trailer myself. So, yeah, I agree.
Good art. I mean, there's really not a lot to talk about. They didn't really show anything. Destiny 2 then had a section, had a moment talking about Destiny 2 coming to Game Pass.
Yeah. And
at the moment it is free to play. Power. Yeah. Well, no, I don't think with the new power, because, correct me if I'm wrong, the version of Destiny 2 coming to Game Pass is going to have everything up to everything before this September's content, right. And the new power comes in this year's expansion, which is in November.
Right, but they showed a little bit of that, is what I mean. They showed the ice stuff out,
which you'll have to purchase. But in terms of what you're getting for quote unquote free through Game Pass, is basically everything they've announced and released coming up to this September. So you'll get like last year's big expansion, Shadowkeep, which is, for those comparing it to the free-to-play version, about a year's worth of content more than what you get from the free-to-play version of Destiny 2. If I am following this correctly, which is, I might not be, because there's a lot of different versions of Destiny 2 now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that'll be on all their versions of Game Pass, obviously. They even talked about xCloud, so very cool. And it'll be optimized for the Series X, which will be 60 frames per second.
Yep.
All right, next was Stalker 2.
This broke my
Stalker
brain.
Fans?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Oh, this was what you were cheering about on Twitter. Okay.
They fucking done it. No, I was cheering about something else. This was my tweet that was something like, wow, didn't see that coming. Because, yeah, you see the symbol for the vault thing, and then you see the, like, rivet thing that they throw to check if there's a anomaly in the area, and you're just like, holy shit, are they doing a stalker thing? Like, yeah, there it is. It's very cool. I'm excited about this. I would like to see more. Like anything, gameplay-wise.
Please show me more. What was it? Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was Grounded. The trailer was like, "Are you looking for the biggest game of 2020?
Wait for Cyberpunk 2077.
Wait for Cyberpunk." And it's like, but there's also this game.
Yeah. If you're looking for the littlest, we got you covered.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Yeah. Very good. That was the Grounded trailer. If anyone wants to look that
The
up.
writing in that trailer was on point. It was very good. Yeah.
Obsidian, man, they got some writers there.
Go figure.
I'm a fan. They mentioned Hellblade 2, as that's still a thing coming. They didn't really show much.
Yep.
We got some Psychonauts 2 gameplay. Jack Black showed up and sang a song for the game. Sure, yeah.
Tell me I'm not the only one that was like, wait, Brutal Legend? What? Like right away.
I saw a lot of that on my Twitter feed when I was going through.
Okay,
like, oh
yeah.
wow, what the hell did they do?
This is just my like semi-annual reminder that Jack Black has a video game YouTube channel that you should watch.
He does. That's true.
Because there's a Venn diagram there, and I'm in that. I'm in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Fair.
Yeah, Psychonauts 2 looks like what you want.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. This next game, this also kind of looked like a Double Fine game. It's not. This is actually from the SteamWorld people, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's called the Gunk. It does not look like a typical SteamWorld game.
No, it doesn't.
Obviously, it's not a SteamWorld game,
Right.
but it's just does not look like what you would expect from that team. I don't know really what to say about this. You like absorb weird gunk, and there's monsters.
Yeah.
Looks like an action adventure game.
It looks kind of fun.
2021.
As somebody whose favorite part of Mario Sunshine was cleaning up the gunk, I am down for a game called The Gunk where you clean up the gunk.
Oh no, is this literally a spiritual successor to Sunshine?
No. It's more like
I was gonna say, oh yeah, no, I'm looking at the footage. That is definitely not. But yeah.
I think Paul's the only one making that comparison at the moment. I have not seen that comparison.
anything where you clean up gunk, I'm in.
Okay. All right. This next one, pretty exciting. I did not see this announcement coming. Tetris Effect Connected, which is a updated version of Tetris Effect with local and online multiplayer.
Yeah, that's neat.
Why not?
Which wasn't this like the one thing you wanted, John, back when this game came out?
That was one thing I felt it was lacking, was like some sort of like multiplayer mode, but like at the same time, like Tetris 99 also got one later, so I'm not shocked that this is getting one now.
This is coming to Game Pass, which is very exciting. And then so it's coming to Game Pass this fall, and all the other existing versions will be getting an update, a free update next summer. So if you only have it on PlayStation, you'll get that, next summer, or if you have it on PC, you'll get it next summer. But if you have Game Pass, you just get it, which is exciting. I will happily play through Tetris Effect again. I'm excited about that for sure. We got another trailer for Crossfire X.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'll play.
I didn't know Remedy had any
Remedy.
like hand in this, so I'm more interested after seeing their logo pop up on this trailer.
Sorry, I cut you off at the beginning. You said you didn't know about the Remedy ties?
No, I didn't look into Crossfire X at all.
They had announced this at the last show, or whenever they announced Crossfire X was coming to the States, because I think this is like a big game over in Asia at the moment.
Yes.
So this is coming to the States, and Remedy is solely doing the single-player campaign for this game.
I mean, that's the only thing I would care about from it, so I'm down.
I'm just really curious, like, what that means, and also I'm a huge Remedy fan.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So, like, let's go. Next, Warhammer 40k Darktide.
This is what I lost my shit about, because I've been playing Vermintide 2, and last week I literally said I wish this game existed in the 40k universe.
This is from the makers of Vermintide, and it is one of those, in the 40k universe. As I watched this, I literally said to myself, I wish I had finished Vermintide, but me and my co-op buddy just kind of fell off like 3/4 of the way through or something.
Oh, there's way
maybe
more.
We'll revisit that.
They've been adding stuff regularly, so.
Oh yeah, maybe I got to re-download that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, like sure, I will play a Left 4 Dead like any day of the week.
Yeah.
I played World War Z.
Yep. They actually updated that recently too.
Oh, did they? What'd they add to that?
They added a drone class or something that you can use. Like drone master class or something.
Did they add any like new levels? Because there's only like
I don't
3
think so.
areas, right? Oh, that's what I'd be more interested in is another level.
Yeah.
Darktide comes sometime in 2021.
Yep.
Phantasy Star Online 2 is getting an update.
Yeah.
I still need to try that game out. Because why not?
I'm actually surprised that they're just rehauling PSO2, I guess. It's just so weird. What a time to be alive.
It's called New Genesis. It'll be a timed console exclusive on the Xbox. Bloober's The Medium was shown again.
Yeah. This thing looks super
psychological
cool.
horror game.
Yep.
I'm not going to play this.
It looks awesome. I really like the fact that, like, both realities or whatever are rendered at the same time, because you know they're going to do some weird switcheroo shit while you're playing. It's going to be creepy.
Right, yeah, it looks like there's kind of 2 things going on at once, and they were showing them kind of side by side.
Yeah.
It's the dual reality trailer, so yeah, they'll probably do something weird with that. And then their final announcement, their one more thing, is they are working on Fable.
Yep.
No number, no subtitle, just Fable. Which, like, yeah, I am ready for a new Fable. It has been a while. That last one was what, 2010, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they were working on that DM, that Dungeon Master one that for a while, and then they scrapped it for Xbox One.
And I think another one came out. Wasn't there something called like Fable Heroes?
Wasn't there like a mobile
thing?
Fable or something? Let me look this up.
I was there. Are you talking about the Kinect one, or?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm talking about the Kinect.
Hero's Journey or whatever that was.
That sounds familiar. Oh yeah, it even says in this thing. Did I mention it's been a long time since Fable 3? And then parentheses, we won't count Journey, which I did not play that, but I want a proper Fable.
There was a card game that was released 3 years ago called Fable Fortune, apparently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
There's an on-rails action role-playing game that used the Kinect called Fable Journey, The Journey, like you said. Fable Heroes was an arcade game, a beat-em-up.
Okay, yeah.
That's
what I'm thinking of as well.
Yeah, the last one I played was Fable 3, and I fucking hated that game. So, Fable 2 I liked.
I thought Fable 3 was fine. The ending is bad, but I like the rest of it.
Yeah.
2's very good.
2's like the only one I liked, actually. I didn't like 1 either, so...
I haven't played 1. I have a friend who like swears by 1. He loves 1. I liked 2 a lot. One of the first 360 games I played.
Cool.
That is an old game. So yeah, I will play some more Fable for sure.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how they do.
Oh, and I had a bit of extra info on some of the games we already talked about. Specifically, Outer Worlds. The DLC is going to be $15.
Okay.
And like we said, September 9th. And what do I have here for Tetris that wasn't already mentioned? I think it was just the release dates in this one. Nope, I don't even know why I grabbed this tweet. All right.
All right then.
All right, moving on.
You were just that excited. That's all it was.
Yeah, whoa, hey Tetris. I am excited. You should be too. Ubisoft had an investors call earlier this week. A couple things came out of that. Specifically, the next Ubisoft Forward will be this September. And apparently their first one surpassed their E3 concurrent viewer record. So I have a feeling these aren't going anywhere.
Sure.
And honestly, why is E3 even going to come back?
Probably not. Or it'll be rebranded for smaller companies at that point.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't even make sense. There was also probably the big tidbit from Ubisoft was that they announced they will not be following Take-Two's lead in making their games $70 this fall.
Right.
They will be sticking with the $6 price. Now, there is some question about, is that just because they're already like announced? Does that mean like unannounced things further on will get a bump? Who knows? I think it would be weird to do a bump not at a console launch. That's like the only way I could see a company justifying a price bump. But either way, this fall, games like Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed will be $60. They're not increasing the price, at least yet.
Sure.
Which is interesting. Like, I feel like you just need a couple more big names to not increase the price, and it won't happen. Like, the market will just like make it so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but is that a good thing or a bad thing at this point if that doesn't happen?
Well, for
Like
consumers,
personally, yeah, for consumers, yes, I would like to not spend more money. But like the issues that we always hear about, like dev studios and all crunch and everything, like is this worth it at this point?
Sure. I think that's a valid point. I think it's a point that less than 1% of gamers are thinking about. Neither here nor there.
Right.
And I'm definitely for you. I don't want developers crunching, but and I asked this question to you, do you have faith that extra $10 will go into the developer's pocket or just to the publisher?
Yeah, that's the
touche.
problem. Yeah.
Touche.
Like I'm for that, but there's no way I will ever know, did that extra $10 go where I want it to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So depressing to think about. I'd really try
weird...
not to.
Yeah. Welcome to the gaming industry. Hooray.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, this is like every industry at this point, right? You know what like you
know,
visual effects studios go out of business all the time despite winning Oscars. Yada yada.
Sure.
I think I mean just you got to subscribe to Game Pass. Everything's going to eventually show up on Game Pass. And it's the only way to feel good about games, I guess. I saw an interesting tweet from Tim Schafer. This would have been a few weeks ago, and this is just kind of a side anecdote. The question was presented to him like, "Hey, what is game development like now that you've been purchased by Microsoft compared to like how your studio was beforehand?" And he said, "Everything is exactly the same, except the crippling fear of us shutting down is no longer there." Which I thought that was just a feel-good tweet. I think Double Fine is a feel-good company, and knowing that they're safe warms my heart. Who knows if he was forced to make that tweet from Microsoft? Like, I don't. It's not like he was going to say anything bad about Microsoft, but I want to believe Tim Schafer is genuine when he is out there publicly.
Tim Schafer is definitely the type of person to cause a shitstorm. He has never been known to hold his tongue when he's pissy about something.
Yeah, so if he's actually being good, like saying good things, then genuinely, he's probably actually feels that way.
That's a feel-good thing to know about for sure.
For sure.
All right, this is kind of a small thing. We got the release date for Yakuza Like a Dragon, the next Yakuza game, is November 13th. One thing that's kind of interesting about this is this was supposed to be a day one launch title for the Xbox Series X. So maybe that's a hint towards something.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
No one knows. But that's a date that we might want to keep in mind. Who knows? I have
What date was that again?
That was November 13th.
Okay.
Are you making a calendar event?
Well, it's right next to my birthday, so I'm like, all right, I might as well just give myself a birthday gift.
This is how you can justify the purchase?
No, I already had like, okay, it's for work, but
yeah.
But now I can at least like pretend.
It's my birthday.
It's my birthday. I'm spoiling myself.
Yeah, so who knows? Okay, moving on. Everyone's at this point in the show, everyone's probably wondering why I haven't talked about Deadly Premonition 2 in the games I've been playing section. And I'm here to answer that question. I was playing it last weekend. I was playing it docked. Still ran like shit to the point that the low frame rate, the jutteriness of everything moving around the screen being blown up on my 65-inch TV, which, by the way, I'm not sure if you know about this. I have a really big TV that I really like.
Humble brag.
It's a great big TV. Anyway, the point was not having the jitteriness on the small screen, but having it on the big screen. I was actually getting eye strain. Like, it was actually hard to watch this bad frame rate game blown up. On the handheld, you know, you can't tell because it's not jumping around physically that much. But on the big TV, it was hard to look at. And then I did a bad fetch quest because it's a Deadly Premonition game. And just after I'd finished that, when I was into the next mission, the game froze and had auto-saved before that bad fetch quest. So I just washed my hands and was like, I am waiting for a patch. Because honestly, it had gotten to the point where it was ruining my enjoyment of this game. And I want to enjoy this game as I'm playing through it. So I was like, I'm waiting for a patch. Paper Mario comes out, so I will move on and play that instead. Anyways, that's a big anecdote because the actual news story is that it received a patch. The patch addresses a few different things. Specifically, the frame rate has been improved a bit. They said that's going to be an ongoing issue they're working, so it is still not great. I haven't booted it up yet since the patch. I'm just kind of going off of all the like anecdotal messages people have been posting to Reddit or Reset Era here. The constant my one thing I was complaining about last time where he'll just like keep repeating a bunch of his comments like while he's skateboarding and you have to like hear them over and over again. That has been addressed. There's been addresses to the audio, like when you're on a skateboard, it's really loud, so listening to him tell his story about movies or whatever is actually kind of hard to hear. That's been fixed. As well as there was a issue with some there was apparently a weird scene towards trans people that wasn't written very nicely. He has rewritten that scene. I can't really comment on that. I haven't gotten to that section yet, so I don't know what the before and after look like, but that was also addressed in some way.
That's a bummer.
Anyways, Deadly Premonition
after
is
the
slowly
missing did so good for like trans stuff. It's kind of weird that you would have a weird scene there.
Apparently, there were some people also saying like there's some other changes that they should have done and they weren't doing it, and their response, like was it Laura Dale or something like that? She messaged Swery on Twitter and Swery kind of responded negatively.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're not sure if So I'm not sure if that's a whole mistranslation thing or what. I didn't keep up with that, but I saw like there was like a miniature like what is Swery doing right now kind of deal.
Weird, man.
Don't even know what you're talking about or who that is.
Laura K. Dale
so
is a game writer for different stuff and now solo, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's an ongoing thing that they're working to address. I'm seeing in the chat there's apparently still a lot of transphobic stuff, which that also seems weird.
It does seem weird, yeah.
I don't know. I don't get that message from Swery. He seems like a pretty genuine dude.
I'm wondering if it's like a localization or translation problem or something.
That maybe I'm hoping, but like that
know.
could also be just writing off an issue. So I don't know. I need to know more.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what the problem is even, like, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I
think it's dead. I think it's dead naming, I believe, was the actual issue. They dead name a character a lot.
I did hear the phrase dead name, but yeah, I mean, I didn't. I am in no way an authority on this. I haven't gotten to that scene, and I will, unless I look up a YouTube video, I'll never see the original scene at this point.
So, yeah. So they didn't fix the frame rate fully then.
They did fix it a bit. They did say, and I saw some anecdotal evidence that when you're like indoors, it's better.
Right.
But yeah, they said they are going to continue.
Yeah.
Working on the frame rate. Yeah, I'm glad to see that they are fixing it in some way, and there are patches coming and more patches coming. So
yeah,
it also got a new Switch icon.
Oh, okay.
Really?
It did, yeah. Which is always funny to me when they do that.
Weird. I'm looking at it right now. It's literally just like the front cover instead of just the logo.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Carry On's Switch logo?
Yes. Oh my God. Why?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, look it up. And if you could, Paul or John, feel free to get in excruciating detail. Please just describe it.
Okay, specifically on the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's the same for the. Yeah.
There's an age gate, so I gotta put in my date of birth. All I see is like a tentacle or something.
No, that's definitely it's not a tentacle.
That's not the one.
No.
Yeah, let me.
Here, I'll go find it.
Yeah, I went to Nintendo's main page.
Make sure you have safe search off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there it is.
it's
There
a
it is.
vagina
Describe it.
with tendrils of blood or some mucus coming from it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Risk of Rain
Thanks.
2
Thanks,
is coming
Arian.
out August 11th.
It's a terrible icon. It's really funny.
Or fitting.
I guess.
Risk of Rain 2's 1.0 version will be on Steam August 11th.
I'm excited. I've been waiting for a final boss and a way to end that game for like a year and a half. So,
Yep, I'm excited as well. I own 3 versions of that game.
Oh,
Somehow
man.
that happened. So yes, I'm excited to have an ending to that game as well. All right, speaking of live streams, Nintendo had a Direct Mini early this week. Pretty short. There's only a few things mentioned, kind of in order. Cadence of Hyrule is getting some DLC.
oh, fucking A. I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah,
New
there's
characters got added now, and then there's like a new story chapter they're doing as well, and I forget
there's
what
a
the third
story
thing was.
chapter where you're gonna play a Skull Kid.
Okay.
Which that comes out, I think, on the 23rd, October 23rd. Or at least that's when the version of the game containing all 3 DLC come out. Let's see, it'll be spread over 3 $6 DLC packs. The first, which is already out, adds 5 new characters, including Impa and Shadow Link. The second, the Melody Pack, features 39 songs, which, by the way, some of those remixes were by Chipsell. Just putting that out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and my boy Family Jewels.
And then the third one will be Skull Kid with a new map, some story stuff. There's also a season pass, I believe, that you can purchase. I'm super excited that you don't need to buy the season pass, and that was the only option. Similar to like Breath of the Wild making you buy the season pass and not breaking them out, because I don't care about new characters or the new songs. I just want some more story stuff. So I will definitely play that Skull Kid thing whenever that drops.
Sure.
They showed off a game called Rogue Company that is already out.
Yep.
I believe it's in an early access version. It will be free to play, but right now you can only get in by, purchasing like a starter pack. It's on Switch. It's on everything basically.
Yep.
It looks kind of interesting.
I want to play this actually.
It looks cool. The UI actually made me think of Siege, because it's like 5-on-5 with like the character icons on the top, which is what it's what Siege had when I was playing Siege. I don't know if they've changed that.
Right.
There's a wrestling game,
Oh yeah, the 2K Playgrounds.
Battlegrounds.
Sorry, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that was the basketball game. I think I was Playgrounds.
And then the probably the biggest news, at least for my Twitter feed, Shin Megami Tensei 3 is getting a HD remake for the Switch. And they also still said Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a thing.
Yeah, and they made a new trailer for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't have an attachment to these games, but I know other people do.
Nocturne was a big deal, so it's surprising that that's getting an HD remaster. It's based on the later re-release for PS3, so it doesn't have Dante in it from Devil May Cry. But no, that was a decent big deal, so I'm sure people are going to be excited for that. And then obviously seeing 5 still existing, and saying it's a simultaneous worldwide release in 2011.
Yeah. So that was the Direct Mini. Like I said, real short. It's like an 8-minute video. All right, a couple more small stories. Metacritic has changed how user reviews can be posted. They now have to wait 36 hours after the game is out to post a user review.
Yeah, that should have been there to begin with.
Yeah,
honestly.
that makes sense. Because people on the internet are weird.
It's still not going to stop review bombing. In fact,
Yeah.
all the Shin Megami Tensei games got review bombed after the Direct Mini happened, because people were expecting something. Yeah, because people were expecting other things to get yeah, I know. People were expecting other things to get announced during the Direct Mini and didn't read that it was a partner Direct Mini and it was all third-party games that were already announced for the most part. It was just a mess.
Oh,
How do you,
fucking stupid.
like, what do you like as the developer there? What do you even like do? Like, oh, well, that sucks.
You
This is,
ignore
like,
it
not
and you
even
keep
our fault.
working.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you do?
Okay.
I mean,
well,
at this point, like none of the Shin Megami Tensei devs are gonna be like, I can't believe our game from 12 years ago suddenly got like dropped 5 review points in the user score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean,
how are we gonna sell copies of this DS game?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure 36 hours is a number that they've come to of like when the kind of the big the peak of viewers probably hit their site. So if you get past that, it's like who's even looking at that point? They probably already made their purchasing decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, GameStop here in the United States has updated their mask policy. I don't know where exactly there are GameStops that are open. It's not around me. Probably in Texas, where there's a giant spike. That's my guess. Anyway, customers to enter the store are required to wear the masks, but if they don't, the employees are not allowed to force them.
So nothing's changing. Got it.
Yep. Cool.
Well,
So that's usual head office BS. Sounds right.
Yeah, so it's like the head office saying like, "Oh no, we're definitely like getting in line, doing the smart thing. But also if they're here with some money and not a mask, I'm not going to say no."
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm reading this. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you should not be allowed to enter that store if you're not wearing a mask. I feel bad for the employees. As I usually do when it comes to a new GameStop news story.
Yeah.
All right, a bit of Final Fantasy news. This bin is about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. And this thing wants me to change my cookie settings, so I'm going to close it and go off of what I can remember. There was a couple quotes basically saying that Part 2 is aiming to release as soon as possible. We have this submitted
No shit.
through Discord, which, yes, I feel like every single game is aiming to release as soon as possible. And then the other bit of news I remember seeing about this was that they have begun full production on Part 2. And my response is, this seems late. Why didn't you do this like a year ago or 6 months ago or whatever? But anyway,
I mean, they probably have to do bug patches and stuff for the for remake.
I would have assumed some of the team had moved over. I guess that wouldn't be considered full production. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
That's likely what it was.
Anyway, announcing that a game is aiming to release as soon as possible is not a news story, and I can't believe that got picked up from so many places.
Look, people are so desperate for any information on the next part of remake.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're right. That's true. All right, Final Fantasy XIV's free trial has been expanded. I will just read this list, and if it means something to you, great. It will include level cap raised to 60, Heaven's Ward patch 3.56, Dark Knight, Astrologian,
yeah.
Machinist, and Aura.
That is
Anyway.
actually that's a lot. Actually,
Yes.
honestly,
The main reason that I had seen someone translate this tweet to me was that is now over 100 hours of free content, including the best content. So yeah, and even in the chat, someone's basically saying it's basically 100 hours of free gameplay. So it seems like a good time to play some Final Fantasy XIV if you have 100 free hours.
good
True.
news. You're probably not going anywhere right now already. So,
Yep, for sure. All right, this last one, I didn't read this. I just thought it was funny that Worms Armageddon got a patch.
yeah, I'm excited for this.
Worms Armageddon has been out for 21 years, and it's now getting a huge new patch for the game. Did you look into this, John? Can you tell us what?
It's already out. The patch is already out.
Okay.
Basically, it was compatibility for Windows 10. So previously, if you wanted to run it in, say, windowed mode or like not crash anything, you had to get like third-party add-ons to do that. Now it all works fine. They fixed the replay feature, which has been broken since like Windows 7. And you can actually save them and watch them proper. You can there's a bunch of proper settings you can actually adjust now. Like
There's a
it
windowed
seems
mode?
like, yeah, Yeah, like that too. They actually added a windowed mode. Like there's a lot of things they fixed that actually seem to have been really good. But it's all most of it is also stuff that third parties already did for modding to kind of keep the game alive. So now this is just Team 17 basically being like, yeah, we see you guys. You still think this is the best Worms game. Let's keep it going.
That's awesome. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
As someone who grew up with that game and absolutely loves that game to death, I'm so excited that game got a patch. That's, to me, is hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Good for them.
Yeah, sure. Man, that's awesome. That's so good. That's so rare. Some companies don't even keep up with their game that came out last year. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That's what I find so funny about it too. Like, this is just like what, not even a week after they announced that the Battle Royale one. So it's funny to just be like, here's a new Worms game, and here's the 21-year-old one for the purists.
That's awesome. Good for them.
All right, that does it for news. Let's do some questions. If you want to send in questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box.
All right.
Paul, would you like to read us some episode names?
Yeah, let's do some episode names. So these were submitted a couple weeks back when John was away, and then we just straight up forgot last week to do them. Let's get them done. Let's do them. Starting on April 23rd, a Hatsune Miku concert on crack.
Was this the Fortnite Dead Mouse thing?
Fortnite thing? Dead Mouse.
Yeah, I think
you're
right. It's something about a concert in Fortnite.
No, I bet this was in relation to that show they did in Fortnite with I don't even remember the guy's name. There was like a rapper in Fortnite. Remember?
Oh yeah,
I do.
I showed you guys that video.
I do. I'm trying to remember what rapper it was or who it was.
I don't think it was Chance.
It was not Chance, but I also could not name a lot of rappers.
Yeah, that was a while back, so, you know.
Yep. All right, what's the answer?
Okay. Answer is talking about a holographic concert in Fortnite.
Yeah,
so, close enough. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the one where the dude was like jumping around and everyone got sent up into the air.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
May 1st. RPG spell or energy drink? This was a game that we played.
This was a game we played, yeah.
I can't remember if it was Kotaku or some site had like a game.
Yeah, they put together a little quiz and we read through it. Yeah.
Context: a listener sent in a Kotaku article where it was a game to see if the following sets of words was an RPG spell or an energy drink. Okay, the week after, May 7th, I think 2020 needs friendships.
Well, clearly we're talking about when they added friendships in Mortal Kombat. 11, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I would not have thought. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. Yeah.
Yep. Context: talking about how friendships were being added to Mortal Kombat 11 and the probable thought process behind doing so. May 14th. This is what I was fighting for? This sucks. This was definitely around the time I was playing Mega Man 04.
Okay, I can see you of saying that. So maybe it was something like that.
I finished off the Mega Man 0 games around this time. So that's probably me saying that because I didn't like that ending. For reasons that I won't get into because spoilers. Paul complaining about the ending of Mega Man 04. All right.
Yeah,
nailed it.
May 21st. I think you're actually describing a Christopher Nolan movie.
I mean, my initial thought is the Nolan movies showing up in Fortnite. But we would have been talking about that, so of course we would have been describing.
Was it like part of a joke, maybe?
Were we talking about just making our own Nolan movie just in Fortnite?
You know what I think it might have been is we were talking about like how like they would do it or something like that, and how like Nolan would come out and greet you out of the screen.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And then I think we said this itself is a Nolan movie. I think that may have been what it was.
I think that's what it is.
Oh no, it was a yeah. it was a joke like that where like at the end, Nolan comes out to congratulate you and say that Fortnite was his movie or something like that. It was something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay, context. You were talking about how a Christopher Nolan movie was going to be shown in Fortnite, which spiraled into a conversation about what movie you would play Fortnite to see, which spiraled further into talking about how when watching a movie in Fortnite, if you die, you can't finish the movie. Okay, so it's that conversation.
Yeah, that was all a big thing. Yeah.
Okay, May 28th. I'm not going to show you my feet. I think Sean said this.
I think I said that as well, yeah.
The fuck?
It was some like intro topic we were having, yeah. I think OnlyFans may have been mentioned.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't remember why. Can you find TDP on OnlyFans, maybe? Like, what the hell was it?
You know, going back to that Fortnite one, just the previous one, I do think that would be funny if every time you died, the movie started over.
Oh no,
that's really good.
So
like,
mean.
you keep getting like the first 10 minutes of a movie. That'd be very good. Okay, what's the feed answer?
Yeah, let's see. You somehow got on the topic of feet at the beginning. John was adamant in not wanting to be a part of it, leading Sean to claim that John is the bad boy of the group, and you have to level him up in the relationship to get him to show you his feet. I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember this at all.
Holy shit.
Sim like scenario, I guess.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I remember a bit of it.
Okay, June 4th. I don't want anything to do with genies. This was a question that was sent in, and I don't want to do any monkey's paw shit with genies.
I remember that is exactly what it was. The monkey's paw stuff.
Yep.
That was you yelling that, I believe. You were just like, I don't want to fuck around with genies.
Yeah, it was something like that. A question came in with a premise that involved making a deal with the genie. During the chorus, Paul revealed his intense phobia of genies. Yeah. And June 11th. Look how sweaty we can get dudes.
Oh,
I don't think I was here. I was not here for this one.
Okay.
The PlayStation reveal, because they showed off a basketball game, and that dude was real sweaty.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it was. Context is basically the tagline to the PS5 NBA game. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Close enough.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for sending those in, as always.
Thank you. I'll read this first question from Christopher. I think wrestling moves are really cool and when used in video games, even though I don't really watch wrestling. In a real life fight, wrestling moves are not that practical, but in video games, they are cool and effective. If you could add wrestling moves to any non-wrestling video game, what would they be?
The game or the wrestling move? Like, what are we adding?
I want to add...
I think it's the game. I say the game.
Yeah,
I want to add power bombs to racing games.
Yeah, to Forza, I was thinking.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
I want my DeLorean to pick up your Trans Am and just crash it through the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it to a train in Final Fantasy, so why not?
Exactly. I just want to play as Sabin in every game.
Yep.
I'm gonna a couple games that come off, and there's a theme here. Viva Pinata.
Okay, that'd be pretty good.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Those are
Pokemon already has some wrestling moves.
It has
it's literally
a few.
just the fighting like type.
Sure, some of them, but I mean, you don't really get to see any of it. I guess I just want cute creatures to suplex each other.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right.
Any visual novel would be better with like suplex or two.
I mean, there is the John Cena dating sim where every character is John Cena, so you could just play that.
True.
What is the move where a character jumps at another one and like 2 feet kicks them, like they go horizontal?
That's a drop kick.
Just a drop kick. I think those should just show up everywhere.
You're right.
Those are never not funny. Hot Fuzz has a fantastic drop kick versus that old lady.
Yep.
When the movie turns, that's a great moment. Just more of those, basically.
What a good movie.
That's such a good movie. Did you Side note, just this last week they did a 10-year it was the 10-year anniversary of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie.
I watched
and
it.
they did on a Zoom call, they did a script read,
Yeah.
a bunch of the actors. That was just so enjoyable and delightful to watch. They got almost everyone. They were missing a few of the actors, but a lot of like little in jokes and stuff, and that was just a really good time. If you're a Scott Pilgrim fan, you should look that up.
Yep, it was good.
Who's up
John,
next? Mine? Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Lineback writes in and says, "What's a game or film or TV show multiple people have told you that you would dislike, but it turns out you actually liked it?" I mean, I usually don't try out something that people say I'm gonna hate.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have an answer for that.
I don't find a lot of people saying, "Oh, you would hate this," to me either.
Yeah. Yeah, or yeah, like in the conversation, it rarely comes up where like someone's talking about a property, and then me not knowing if I'd like it, them saying, "Oh, I don't think this is for you." That doesn't. I haven't had that happen a bunch. Yeah, no good.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for this one.
All right, Paul, with the next question.
Okay. Suku says, "So, I've been wondering, is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? What even is a Ubi or Ubi?" So, apparently the answer to this actually is Ubisoft, because it was short form for ubiquitous software when it was created a long time ago. But I see Ubisoft.
Yeah, I think it actually is Ubisoft, but I never think about it enough.
No.
That when I just say it, I'm pretty sure I just go back and forth, like when I'm just speaking, and then without even really noticing.
I think at the end of the day, the company's not going to get mad at you that you can't say their name.
They're stoked you're saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Get that free engagement, baby.
Hell yeah. Got that SEO in my brain.
Rinku says, Sean's mentioned how Assassin's Creed games are like his junk food game. What is yours? And for Sean, any other games like that for you?
Junk food game.
And the way I kind of looked at what a junk food game was, and I guess I kind of interchanged this with like a comfort food game, but just something that doesn't have a lot of like a lot of deep substance. Like I'm not like I can kind of turn my brain off. And it just kind of fires enough of the neurons that I'm like, oh, I'm just I'm having a good time, kind of thing. I don't have to like put a lot of effort into it.
I think that might be Picross for me.
Picross, 100%.
Picross.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get this with Apex so much. Like a lot of the times when I'm thinking like, do I want to start something? What do I want to do? Like I can always just like I can just load up Apex and completely turn my mind off. That is such a comfort game at this point.
Sure.
Usually it has to be like a pretty like a big game. It's something it can't be like super narrative focused.
Sure.
Or something where I want to like listen to a lot of stuff. Like if there's like some voice acting I want to listen to or whatnot, or reading. I don't want to do that either. Racing games usually hit this for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Big RPGs.
You guys have any others besides Picross? RPGs? Yeah, just grinding in general, kind of. If that does it for you.
Yep. Recently it's been Payday 2 again. I don't know why. Just turn my brain off and do some stealth missions for like half an hour, then turn it off.
All right. VGC Kenny writes in and says, would you care if they gave up all pretense and gave the main playable characters of the next mainline Pokemon game a name and a fully fleshed out character? The question is extended to any game or series that allows you to type your own name in. I mean, they're not going to do that simply because like people, like kids see it as a self-insertion. Like they enjoy.
I was about to say like, I would actually really like if you weren't a 10-year-old boy or girl anymore. not to like have anything against that. It's just it's been that exact storyline over and over forever. Like I would love to hear a storyline of just like a down on his luck dude being like, I just dropped out of college. I don't know what to do with my life. Why don't I just try to become a Pokemon master?
But Sean,
Like that,
children are our future,
yeah, that's
Sure.
fine.
including the Pokemon future.
Yeah, that's fine.
That
I've done
that's
that.
why like
I've done that
adults
like
can't
10
like
times.
adults can't find any information on God, but then just 10-year-olds just catch him with a nest ball. Just they have no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I guess so. The kind of general question here would be kind of any game. Would you like making a character and they're just like a blank slate, or
Mm.
do you like having like a backstory, like almost like they're voiced and that they have like a personality, basically?
I like when the character is actually fleshed out enough.
Yep.
At that point.
Me too.
So if the character's well written, I don't care.
Yep.
But I would miss having like creative characters, like say in Saints Row. I liked being able to create my character.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do both. That's definitely
There's definitely a market for both, 100%.
no, I mean like in the same game, you can definitely. There's plenty of games where you still create the character, but the character has a backstory. They're voiced, and you pick their voice or whatever. Blah blah blah. I guess they're in those scenarios they're typically not named though.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Mass Effect did it okay because it was just you always had the same last name, but you can change the way they look, and then you could pick like one of like 3 different backstories. You could kind of make an origin story for them. So that was kind of a both scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I want a fully fleshed out character. I don't care much for the blank slate. I am more interested in like a well written character. It's more narrative heavy that way typically as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with you too. And to your point on Pokemon, yeah, no, I'd be okay with like an actual adult character, but I don't think they'll ever do it considering children's market is still really their primary market.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't see that happening either. But yeah, with Pokemon, I mean, I would take like a fully fleshed out child character, like named one. I just think it would be super interesting if there was like a different starting point. Maybe you're a divorced mom who is going to become a Pokemon master.
I feel like you're literally just describing NPCs in Pokemon games. Like that's just like the flavor text they give you when you just are walking through the grass and like, yeah, my husband left me, so I'm gonna show him.
Yeah, sure. Like, why not? Like, that's already more interesting to me than another 10-year-old boy or girl hit their 10th birthday and now they're going out on a quest. Because I've done that 100 times.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Zombie Twinkie writes, what is a song in a video game that the second you hear it, it gives you a rush of memories and you can instantly place where it's from? For me, Ario of Souls from the Persona franchise gives me chills to this day.
Mm.
I definitely got this with the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like
Sure.
a lot of those combat musics.
Yeah.
Just definitely brought me back, or it was like, oh, I remember doing this. Another one that just came to mind is when Burnout Paradise Remaster came out and having like the same soundtrack. Like I was instantly transported back to like the weekends as a high school kid doing like this exact same stuff. I even remember listening to this song in the game, driving around. So that was a big one for me as well.
Yep. There's a lot of these for me. I mean, Goldfinger Superman is always Tony Hawk. That song doesn't belong to Goldfinger anymore. Tony Hawk owns it now, as far as I'm concerned. From back.
Oh, you mean Superman by Tony Hawk? Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony Hawk
exactly.
himself. Yeah, you did a great job with it.
He really did, for sure. The cliche stuff, like the Mario theme. I mean, I played the Mario Bros. Game forever as a kid. That's just burned into me. Same with like the
one. I almost like that one doesn't work quite for me, just because that song is so much like everywhere that it doesn't like link me to any one memory or anything like that. It's just like that's the Mario theme.
Sure, I could see that. For me, Final Fantasy X or 10 battle theme specifically is just super like recognizable to me.
Okay.
Punch Out theme. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot.
There's too many to kind of narrow down, honestly. Ninja Gaiden music probably does it for me at this point. Just like hearing like the jingles somewhere, I'm just like, I know that.
Deadly Premonition, the first one's theme.
The
Yeah.
whistle.
Yeah, like the weird whistle thing. That definitely brings me back to like playing and watching my friend play that game in my bedroom.
Beautiful Day or something.
Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful.
Life's
Yeah,
Beautiful.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that one too. The Metal Gear Solid 2 theme specifically, I remember hearing at school.
Oh yeah, the Spanish guitar style version of the theme that plays in I think 3.
In 3, oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Silent Hill music.
Basically, hearing the Metal Gear Solid 3 theme will bring me back to the ladder boss.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Snake Eater.
Almost any of the songs, like the actual licensed music from Saints Row 3, will just make me think of Saints Row 3.
Like Power.
And those, like Power, like the wrestling, I Will Survive. No, not I Will Survive. I Need a Hero. That's the one, right? Yeah, that, God, man, that game is so good. Saints Row 3, man, that game is so good.
Yeah. Man. Music is pretty good.
A lot of this happens for any of the like not including DLC because I obviously know them less. Any of the songs that were on like the first few Guitar Heroes and Rock Band soundtracks, just because I had played them so much. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been at a bar or something with my friends. A song will come on and I'll be like, "This was on the Guitar Hero 2 soundtrack," and they'll be like, "Cool, thanks." And I was like, "This was on the Rock Band 1 soundtrack." Just because I've played them so many times.
I can't hear, was it that Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne without thinking of that version of Burnout that had 3 different versions of that song on it. And they were all in different languages.
I'm not sure what you're talking about because Girlfriend is the big one for Burnout Paradise, and that only has one version of it. So I think you might
Burnout Dominator for PS2 and I think PSP had 3 different versions of Girlfriend on it, 2 of them being in different languages.
Are you sure? Was Girlfriend out then?
I distinctly remember this because I was working at EB at the time. You cannot unhear hearing that fucking song in 3 different languages.
Out then. Okay. So I remember that being the Burnout Paradise song.
Where's the fucking track list for this game?
Avril Lavigne was replaced by
maybe it was only 2, but I distinctly remember.
I just don't think it was Girlfriend. That's my thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Avril Lavigne Girlfriend is indeed the track that's in there.
Okay, weird. So they put that in several Burnout games.
That's weird. It doesn't have the multi-language ones there.
Oh well.
All right. Last thing. This isn't exactly a question, but we got written in from Gutang Clan, and they say, "It's not until next week, but I'm asking for a signal boost for the Mario Marathon starting on Thursday, July 30th, raising money for Child's Play charity." He doesn't include the link here, but if you go to mariomarathon.com, you can check out the times and all that sort of stuff, and I believe it starts in the morning. So if you're interested in that, it'll be going, I mean, we'll be doing another show next week, but it will have started already, so just a friendly reminder to people.
30.
Yep.
All right, that does it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, or the Discord channel. What is your game of the week?
Panzer Paladin.
I guess Origami King.
Mine is also Origami King. All right, if you're a Patreon subscriber, tonight is the last night to submit a game for the poll. And if you're listening to this on Friday, we will already have the poll up. So come vote on what you want August's game to be. Next week, we should also be doing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yep.
So get excited for that. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.